Apha makholwa. What are our programs? Because if the devil is strategic in using the media to push his agenda, we cannot defeat him by prayer and fasting. Nathi, we need to be equally strategic. In other words, we also need to have our own TV stations. We also need to have our own Netflix, also push the agenda yetu. We also need to have our own satellite dishes that will be pushing our agendas yetu, because we cannot keep working in the Babylonian system if we are not transforming it. As someone in the media space, if by the grace of God uNkulunkulu has elevated you ukuthi ube ubuso obazwayo nobujwayelekile, ube a so-called famous person or an influencer, you need to influence the world for Christ. You cannot just be an influencer ehamba ngezinqe social media and then claim to be a Christian. There's a certain caliber that you need to portray as a child of God in the media space. This is a space that will not give you endorsement deals because when you have a certain standard to uphold. There are certain roles that I cannot take. If I may share this one with you. There's a job that I didn't even have to audition for. It was given to me. It was like, Muzi, this is yours. We had you in mind for this role. But because of a certain scene in that role, I couldn't take it. The money was good. The money was good. The money was good. And I would be able to save imali engane zami ukuthi ziye university. One role, 3 months. It was going to pay me that much. But I had to turn it down because it was promoting sexual immorality. And not just the sexual immorality, the deep stuff. So I had to turn that job down knowing ukuthi I need that money. But whom do I belong to? So I had to remember ukuthi ngiubani. Omunye uzothi, but we see you doing ama rules are wrong. But mina, what I try and do, not always successfully so, ukuthi the role that I take, it has to have a certain lesson. Uma ngabe ngizodayisa ama drugs in a film, I need to see ukuthi egcineni uyafa lo muntu noma uyaboshwa. But if uzoba inkunzi malanga nje wena uboshwa nje udayisa ama drugs, ugixisha ingane zabantu ngama drugs, I don't take such roles. I also made a vow ukuthi I will not do ama adverts a promote utshwala. Yes, sometimes the roles we do every now and then kubhaliwe Nkosi yabo after a long day ushaya iglass ka ye whiskey. I can't run away from that. But that's where we go in. Ukuthi, even though I play a role of someone who does that, I need to make sure that when God elevates me in a space, then I need to make sure that at the end of it all, it has to glorify God. We cannot be seen in spaces where we are not glorifying God. Siphelile isikhathi sama seat warmers enkonzweni. Siphelile isikhathi sabantu abazosonta ngesonto and then the whole week you will be blending with the world. We cannot cast the devil out on Sunday kukuthi sibloma naye throughout the week. We have a serious responsibility, bazalwane, of evangelizing the world using the space of media, using the tool ye media. E-media is very powerful. A song ezodlala over and over on TV, on radio. Uzobantwana umntwana omncane umuzwe ejava leyo ngomuntu umntwana ejiva amapiano. Who is pushing amapiano kaNkulunkulu? Because amapiano, I'm not saying angikhulumi kabi, but when you listen to the ingoma zalabantu aba in the secular world, some of them have made agreements with darkness. They bow before the demonic altars. Not all of them. Angifuni ukuphuma la kuthiwe wonke umuntu successful le ngaphandle une agreement nobumnyama. Cha. Some of them have really worked hard, but others bayaziwa, badlimithi, baneyinyoka, banayo yonke all sorts of shady things. I'm not here to speak about conspiracy theories. But these are people abapusha i-agenda by putting subliminal messages in their music. Olalelwa ithina, olalelwa yingane zethu. Who is putting these messages? Because immediately when you say, let's play gospel music, some people switch off. Immediately when you say, the Bible says, immediately you do that, some people switch off. But now you and I, we need to infiltrate those spaces so that we write our films, we write our series that promote ubuhle buka Kristu. For example, before I turned down this road, because the money was good, I was considering it. Then I called a friend of mine, Pastor Colin Maluleke. I say, Bafo, kunenkinga la. Manje ginente kanje ngithola, what do you think? And then he says, what if there's a young person who looks up to you and will see you playing that role, doing that thing, doing that kind of sex scene, and they'll be like, oh, if Butmuzu yayenza lento, then it means it's okay. Then I can also do it. What am I saying? When you go into the space that I'm in, it is no longer about you. You can no longer say, my body, my rules. You can't just say, my body works for me. No, we no longer belong to ourselves. So you need to enter that space knowing, Uti, you are going there to serve. It's not about taking a myself. It's not about being famous. It's not about being on the front covers. But it's about pushing the agenda yasezulwini. So when you get into that space, you have to remember, Uguti, you have to, you are a representative. You are a steward of the gospel of Christ. So anywhere people see you, they see ibandla. They no longer see just Umuzi Mthabela. Because of the things that you must say when you get into spaces. In any secular space, maybe let's say metro for an interview, you have to make sure by the time you leave there, at least one yana verse with posho. Even if you don't say Genesis 15 verse 20, no. Be smart about it. Unkulunkulu gave us the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We need to invade these spaces, but using wisdom to push the agenda kaNkulunkulu. This is a very broad space. There are many jobs that are coming up, even with the artificial intelligence coming up, even as the world goes through another phase of a fourth industrial revolution. There are many potential jobs out there. You don't just look at Umuzi Mthabela and say, "Nami ngifuna uku-actor." Look at any movie. For example, look at Ushaka Zulu Mayiphela. It takes about 3 minutes. All those people are getting paid serious money. So it's not just about being an actor or being in the front. We need writers. We need Christian writers who know the gospel. No, we need to write a series and we need streaming platforms. So instead of us always going to the secular platforms for entertainment, we need to create platforms for Christ to be preached. The world is gone in darkness. And the signs are there. Who is telling the people who Jesu yabuye? Because nasemabandleni isikhathi esiningi kukhulunywa nje ama breakthroughs, hey, next week you are going to receive money. Receive, I receive. Hey, Nkosi yami. So we need to be smart about how to evangelize to a world that does not want God. Umhlaba umfuna uNkulunkulu because we want ubumnandi basemhlabeni. So we need our writers. We need producers, Christian producers. We need people in all these spaces. Exotiwa noma kuthiwa le role ayibe ile orientation. No, but there's no need for that. Let's do that instead. Let's try that instead of always having people doing umatanda because we are not there. Like I said earlier on, we can't evangelize using only prayer. We need to invade the Babylonian system. We need writers. We need Christians who are going to own companies that hire equipment, your filima, instead of always taking this money to the people abazophinde badelele Christianity kodwa bebe befitwa yithina. Don't come into my industry for fame. Ngiyacela Nkosi yami. This is not an industry just to be famous. Bese kuphela kanjalo. Baningi beduma benyamalala. If all you want is fame, very soon we will see you uhamba ngedzunga on social media because ufuna ama followers. Sikhathela abantu abathi hey mina ngimuhle, oh Nkosi yami, kuza umzala athi oh Nkosi yami yazi umntana muhle kanjani, oh Nkosi yami animfake lapha ku TV. Akufakwana lapha, ungena because une talent. We get used to ubuhle. Baningi abantu abahla siqali ngokubona ubuhle ngawe. So other than ubuhle, what are you offering? It's very difficult to work with somebody who was ukuthi yena muhle. Ngoba noma sekumele akhale uzokhala kahle kanti makukhala kumele ukhale. The possibilities are endless.